No, the place before they were in trouble with a while back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Spanish School.
That's what I don't think it
Can we move along? Okay, okay, we also have a continued hearing on China Bowl.
This is Bo, Bo's the manager. This event occurred on a Tuesday night, I believe. It was an unfortunate either motor vehicle accident or crime that happened outside the facility. On the evening in question, Bo was there, her husband is there, the barmaid is there, and the cook. At about 12:30 or so, a group of people come in. There's one customer, Ronnie, who's an eyewitness, I think, who cooperated with the police. He's present. These people come in, it was like a man and a woman and a man and a woman. The only indication that there was a problem between these people was a remark that was made that said, "You don't talk to your cousin that way." There was no shoving, pushing, fighting, just that statement. At that point, the man who ultimately becomes the victim of the automobile accident, and the woman who was with him, they go to the other side, if you're familiar, to the food side. They order food to go. While they're doing that, the folks who are inside at the bar, they get up and they leave. So it's getting near closing time. So who's left in the bar is Ronnie, the witness, the staff, and this couple. They get their food order, they leave. Ronnie, the last customer, Bo tells me, and I talked to Lynn, the bartender, she says he usually waits to walk her to her car. He comes in from the outside and says, "There's commotion going on." She looks out the window and sees in the street lying down the person who was the victim. She calls 911. The fire department and the EMTs get there first. She goes outside to assist, and when she reaches over, there's a gun in the street. She takes a napkin, wraps the gun, hands it to the EMT. The police arrive. They describe what happened. Apparently, and this is what she told me, Yolanda told me she saw. She saw the man lying in the street. She saw a car come around the corner and run him over when he's in the street. When she saw that, that's when she called 911. But she made the point that they had been on separate sides of the establishment. They had no problem in the establishment. They left separately. She's tips trained, has worked in other bars. Took some pride that she thought that she was proactive. She was concerned about the person lying in the street. She was concerned about the gun and secured it, gave it to the first authority that showed up. And then they both explained, I think, Ronnie, the customer, and she spoke with the police about what they had observed. And that's my understanding of what happened.
Can I just say one thing? As is the case that we saw with the former bar owner in the city, Raffi's, somehow the surveillance system at the China Bowl never works when you need it to. So every time we go in there, when there's an incident, somehow magically the surveillance tape doesn't exist. You can never find it, they can never pull it up. Even if it's 5 hours later that night, somehow that portion is missing.
So after the accident happened, so that night the surveillance system is the one that I'm curious on. So after we realized it didn't work well, so we changed another one, which cost us almost $1,000. So before it will like run perfectly, but the second time the police came, just realized because I think it's something wrong with the hard drive. It doesn't record like carry so I need the hard drive is something wrong with that. So that's all I can explain. But after that, we fixed the problem. It works well right now.
How long did you know that the hard drive wasn't working?
Because we have, I call my friend. He
How
said-
long did you know that it wasn't working?
How long did you know, Daniel?
Prior to?
After, so the day when, after, the next day after the accident, so the police came, I hope it was working well. Then I tried to, look at the right time, but just realized it was.
Can I just say that somehow it worked prior to the incident, a few hours, and then after the incident, but magically the incident, or the time frame that we were looking for, it just didn't happen to work that time. And it seems to be the case with a lot of the incidents we're trying to get help with here. So it just seems like the hard drive doesn't work conveniently when there's some kind of crime or incident involved.
The people who were eyewitnesses, and the people who called the police, there's nothing that refutes their stories.
Because there's no tape to refute.
Well, again, they don't have the burden to refute their own stories. The stories, the officers talk to them independently. There's no question this individual got injured in the
There's
street.
a question that the video was working prior to and immediately afterwards, not during. That's an issue. That's an issue.
Whether it's an issue that bears on the ultimate responsibility of the bar for what occurred is the question. And since the individual is acknowledged to have been a customer buying chicken wings or whatever, and goes outside and gets run over by some driver, whether that holds the bar responsible for those events, he walked away, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Or if there's somebody else hadn't pulled a gun on him, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But none of that from the eyewitness, not associated with the bar, not an employee of the bar. He doesn't say any of that. He corroborates what they say happened.
It would be very helpful if we could take a look at the video to see if there wasn't an altercation that started in the bar. And because it somehow disappears from the time frame we need it, there's no way to refute anything anyone says. And my experience with the people down there is they're less than cooperative. I'll tell you what, little bits and pieces, but no one's gonna come forward and say exactly what happened.
Who has access to your video?
Me and
That's it? Just the two of you?
So all I can say is that I'm sorry about the victim and I'm sorry about the video. If I can show the video, that will be good. At least I can prove that what happened that night. I said this, what happened, like, just the lawyer said. There's no fine, no argue inside, and at least if I have the video, at least it's proof that. Just I can say that.
Moving forward, you going to have your sister has been repaired or replaced, because
Yeah,
this is the third time I've seen you.
Yeah, after that, I replaced another.
So you replaced?
Yeah, I replaced.
May I just make a point? I was there that evening of the incident, and I don't think that we would be standing here if it weren't that I spoke directly with Rodney, who I acknowledge doesn't work for the restaurant, you know. But Yolanda, the bar manager, does, specifically. My purpose when we work is to make sure that the licensed establishments are abiding by the rules. I specifically asked the bar manager if any of the people involved in the incident, not asking her to critique the incident or get further involved in it, anybody involved in the other two, whether it was the victim or persons that may have been involved with the victim, were in the bar, in the restaurant. And she repeatedly denied that they were. That is the only reason why there was a supplemental report written by me after reviewing all the several reports which I'm sure you have, the detectives, the state police, the traffic reports, the officers' initial reports the night of the incident. It was a direct contradiction to the statement she made to me. Otherwise, I didn't, aside from the video that Detective Fucci is mentioning, it just seems that we went there and you could look at the video, plainly up until the incident, and then again, you could look at it later. There was a span of time in there that there was no video. And knowing that you assured the board there will be, you'll work to keep good video of your restaurant in the future is reassuring. But the reason why we're here is because the people that she has working for her wanted to distance themselves from an incident. And they should have been forthright, because no doubt she did call the police. She was one of the persons that gave information. Her customer gave information. So there's no incident besides that, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't know that I have the second.
Now, the second incident report is in my packet, and it was written by me, and it was fairly short. It was just,
Is the number 1307040?
I don't know, it's only a couple of paragraphs.
yeah, it's one or
These
two
were,
paragraphs.
the last page. I know there was a report about who owned the car that was in the incident, and whether the guy had leased his car. And whether he had leased it to,
I just read it, so it must be in the packet.
this is what I have. I mean,
Check it.
But, did you talk to Ronnie, the other members?
Ron, that's what he's saying, you talked to Ron.
Rod, yeah,
Ronnie too?
I took,
Ready to?
Yes.
the reports that are here, the report number, the incident that happened on the, October 8th by Officer Tran is in here. And he interviewed Rodney, and he interviewed Yolanda. And in the report that I wrote, which is 130704009, and then it is the 8th supplement, is my report, and it's at the stuff that's gonna be coming in for next month. It's one of those.
Okay.
It's
The
one of
last
those
page of the
reports.
report I got is that, Mr. Hayes stated he did not know the victim. The victim bought everybody a drink and was cool for the most part.
That's where I discovered that the person involved was telling the investigators that they were inside the bar.
I don't have it. I don't
Well, you have,
Just read the part that it said that the victim was in the bar.
that's really all the reason why I don't believe there's any correction of the bar.
Because I wondered
Did-
why. But I'm just telling you that based on what I saw.
I saw
It
nothing.
ends it with the trooper asking about the owner of the car.
That's right.
Trooper Mike Murphy continued our investigation about the operator. of the-
Okay, here it is, right here, here's the supplementary report right here.
Was that the next one?
You look at my
Yeah,
house.
it's coming, it's coming.
It's coming in.
Right,
It's all right.
it's coming.
It's coming.
Didn't go
Yeah,
up to him.
well, we'll,
Right.
at the end of the meeting, we go through other reports that come in.
Okay.
Okay, so this
So you
one,
wouldn't have gotten it?
you wouldn't have gotten a copy, so I'm letting you look at it now, so that,
All right.
okay.
I mean, on this, if I may, on this, that was up for tonight, China Ball, given the incident with the accident and the fact.
But we acknowledge that they were in the bike.
Right, I believe that on its own would have been just a matter of fact incident that happened
Exactly,
at
and
that
you wouldn't
bar.
have been here, you wouldn't have been before the board had Yolanda not said those people hadn't been in the bar.
Well, she didn't say that to me.
Right, but she said it to the police, so,
I mean, she said to me
I have no idea about that.
that they were in the bar.
Because I was inside when she
It
talked.
starts
to the
off, they're
police.
going back and forth, they were cousins. They're in the bar, one said something to the other, and then the other said, you don't talk to your cousin that way. There was no, these are what she told me, no pushing or shoving. They didn't leave at the same time. One went onto the other side on the left and ordered chicken wings or something to go.
She should have said that to the law enforcement agent for the board as well.
exactly.
I agree.
Make sure you stress it.
Especially when someone got killed.
Just tell the truth. All the time, otherwise you're in a position where you could lose your license. And at the very least, you should be talking about she could be terminated. You should terminate her if she does it again.
Cause, I'm sorry about that, cause when you talked to Rwanda, I was inside, cause, you know, there was an article inside, so I cannot let money.
I
So
understand.
after that, I think there was 2 times the police came, but they did not ask me directly about whether they're inside or not. So, I told you guys, no, it's none of our business, so I have no idea that she, told you that they were not inside. I guess she's just afraid, like, she doesn't want to do it.
Well, I understand that, but you should make sure that she understands her responsibilities working for you with your license at stake. That's the only problem here. In fact, I had gone there with Detective Fucci, who looked at the film, and I asked her, you know, the problem is you didn't tell us, you should have told us. I still don't know if she understands, but that's your problem, to make her understand that she should be forthright with the information. Give the Council Vitale and the other officers some information. When the officer that's investigating, there were several officers involved in the investigation, they all had a purpose. I didn't necessarily have to be involved, only that I was there, and then at that point, I wanted to make sure that there were no violations. I didn't find that there were, except until I read the report a month later.
Okay?
Clear on all this, you think?
I'm clear on it, if that's now up to you, if she understands it.
I think it's 2 issues. One was the tape, and the other is this statement that apparently was made.
Right.
Those are the 2 issues.
Right.
That's it.
So.
And you've taken care of the tape.
Yeah, I make sure that we check periodically and make sure that the machine is working.
Exactly.
Because sometimes when we check, before, sometimes when we check, it work good, so I assume that it will work in the future.
Yeah.
How long does that save the data?
The day right now?
How long does it save?
How long does it keep the film? Is it the reel? Does it go a month, a week, a night, a day?
About 20 days.
20 days.
Yeah, because we put more camera, so after the accident, we put another camera right on the spot where the accident happened. And we want, in the back of the parking lot, so because we put more cameras, so the charger store, so probably we're just around 20 days.
Just one last thing, if you do find out, or you do encounter that your system is down, you should let us know.
Right.
Send a letter, that way you're covered for any periods that it's out of service.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You have a copy of the rules, right? Okay, that's in the rules. So make sure we review the rules. Yep. A motion? You'll be set for the file?
Second?
All in favor?
Before you go, I apologize.
All right, now we have some hearings on, yes, you're all set, thank you. Failed alcohol compliance survey, we'll get to that. Okay, someone, Jimmy's Discount Liquors, someone here from Jimmy's? Yeah, let's do them all together. Someone from Santo Domingo Liquors?
Yeah.
Come on up. Someone here from Lynn Liquor Mart? MC Harold? Market Square?
Yep.
Who's here from, 843 Western Avenue, Jimmy's Discount Liquor? You? What's your name?
Lynn,
Okay, and who,
Jim.
Jimmy, the other one? The other one. Okay, so mine, so you know that you do have to go back for training? Tips, training, is he still presently working? Shouldn't be, he shouldn't be, so he completes the training.
Yeah, I have to go back and train him again, so we'll see how he goes, so we come here to apologize and stuff. Yeah, I wasn't there on that day, so trying to get back on the again, so.
Who's here from, Santo Domingo Liquors? Who is working?
He was working.
Miguel?
Miguel.
Okay. You gone back for tips training? You have to go back for tips training.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be working until he completes the training either.
The thing in here, okay, he worked before, which was there for 7 days. He didn't train by us, say alcohol, anybody with no ID, property, don't care how old, they just say, do not assume, like I've been here before, do not assume, just make sure that you have the right to talk. But the girl went over there, it was 22, even the police reports it was 19, but anyway, that was a mistake, we understand that, because he's been trained by not to do that. And if you look at the history of some people, because, been here before, here about 4 years or whenever, but he just knew there for 7 days that we were working there. I'm not taking the responsibility of what he should know. And he's been trained not to sell alcohol to a minor. And for the last 5 years, he started working there and I was assuming that she was 22. She never told him she was 19. Because I'm very sure that if he told her she's 19, she will never buy alcohol there.
Even if she told him she was 82.
Right, he can't assume
He
that.
can't.
He knows that.
He has to see the license.
He's got to see
He has to
that.
be ID. Yeah. Yeah. So he has to be tips trained. Did you go for tips training when you hired him?
No, he did not. I'm not here to say anything that is not, he did not.
Within a year.
Within a year?
Yep. It's in the rules.
Okay, we can sell it to the train. You want to go to the train?
Not wanna, he has to.
He has to. You have to go for the train anyway. He's here to do whatever you have to be done, okay? I like this employee, he's a very good, honest guy, and then he's made a little bit of mistake in there.
It's not, no, understand this, it's not a little mistake.
It's a
It's
big
a big mistake.
I understand that.
It's a big mistake.
I know, but I'm sure that she wouldn't tell him was 22. She wouldn't buy alcohol.
Again, it doesn't matter what she tells him.
Yeah.
She can tell him anything she wants. It's his responsibility to see an ID.
I've been told that the
Just-
police
can I just say one thing?
they train
When
people.
the girl came out of the car, she said that the guy was trying to pick her up, trying to date her. He may have been distracted.
Volunteers are, go by ABCC
What was the girl
guidelines.
saying?
Yeah.
Could you repeat that? I didn't hear that.
He was trying to ask for a phone number, because she thought she was there.
On a date, fetcha.
And they don't lie about their age.
I didn't see that.
They get
in
strict
your report.
guidelines. They go.
Well, I was trying to,
I didn't see that in your report. When I saw the new report,
Get
it was
in
different.
trouble.
So when I say that, it will be, 100% corrected. That is not there to engage in any kind of activity. You have to sell alcohol to people who are allowed to buy alcohol and cigarette and what else. That's the business. I didn't see that in your report. I saw your report saying she was 19.
Yeah,
That she told him it was 19.
I didn't think it was necessary.
And I'm doubting that was the right thing, but anyway, I'm here,
Just simmer down and move along.
that's why he sold.
You gotta go back to training.
Yeah, he has to go for that.
Okay. Where do you have to go for training? Where?
You can do it, there is a program online that you can do it, and there's also some at the North Shore Community College. I believe the one online is $48, but you all have to submit a certificate to me after you do it.
Okay, can we,
The Mass Package Store also
Yeah.
does it around the state. If you go online to the Mass Package Store Association, they have more than once a month, but it's not, could be in Springfield, and there's one in Lowell, they move around. So there's actually 3 ways, online, I think North Shore just finished the first class of this semester, and there's another one coming. But Mass Package says it every month.
Okay, so then, we go to the website, the Mac package, and find out, what to do there. We have to comply anyway, not
Yes.
have to,
Thank you.
know that.
Okay, and, who sold that, MC Harold? You did. So, you know, you have to go back to.
Sir?
Oh,
Yeah, don't go away.
I'm sorry, I thought it was.
no, not yet. And Mr. Stevens?
Yes. I apologize to the board and local PD. Third generation, we're processing fourth generation now. And unfortunately, it was a medication that came to work a little too early. And I'll do whatever you tell me I have to do.
Go back to tips training.
Okay?
Okay, I was saying people can't work without the tips training, but I guess the training isn't available immediately, so. Suffice it to say that within 6 months, huh?
Within 6 months.
6 months.
I think when we first set the rules, it wasn't online, the training
Right.
wasn't online at the
Right.
time.
Now it is.
Now it is.
So, yeah, you have to submit proof to us that you've been retrained.
You guys each want to do that, right?
I wouldn't wait, because
No,
believe me, there
it's not
will be,
gonna wait, no.
believe me, there will be more checks. And heaven help you if you're back here again.
Well, I understand that anyway, in my business, we train to attention of the way it's over the water. I know he made a little error, a big error, he said, excuse me.
Thank you.
Big error, he said,
Not a little.
but it's an error anyway, that's what he said, okay, he's going to, do the training, we'll do the training.
All right.
We want to comply with
So we'll
any
have
kind
it
of rules,
6
law
months?
in the
Yeah.
world.
Within 6 months, you need to bring me the certificate so that I have it on file.
Okay, we can proceed on that?
Yeah.
All right, everybody understand?
By the way,
I got a couple of things. Mr. Fernandez, wait a second, you know. Every time this happens, I get concerned, that we all do, about the fact that these things do fall through the cracks, and these very serious violations. I don't think everybody's taking that as seriously as you should be here tonight. Everybody knows the legal drinking age is 21, correct? Everybody understands that. You understand there's only acceptable certain forms of identification that you can take to validate that a person is over 21. Everybody gets that, right? That's part of your tips training. It has to be taken very seriously. There's no margin for error on this. Mr. Fernandez, you've been here before with this.
Yes, I have.
You've been here before, this isn't your first violation.
You're 100%
Yeah,
correct.
and I think you're gonna get off easy here tonight because you're grouped together. You really shouldn't be. You're probably gonna catch a break.
I appreciate that,
But-
and,
But I think you've gotta understand.
we don't take the thing,
You've gotta
it's like,
understand
take
that-
the thing seriously.
Well, I don't think you
For him, it's
do.
seriously.
I don't like your attitude tonight, to tell you the truth.
I'm sorry
about
about
that.
that. I'm sorry about my-
I think
apologize
you're
for my
treating this
attitude,
lightly.
sir.
I think you're treating this lightly, and I think you've been here before, and I think you should take it more seriously. If this could cost your license, everybody understands what could happen here. I think everybody's an intelligent individual. You understand, you sell alcohol to a minor and something goes out, not only your license, your whole business is gonna be at stake, you're gonna get sued civilly, it's gonna be years, it's gonna be a nightmare for you. Everybody gets that? This can't happen again. This can't happen again. You've gotta figure this out, you've gotta train your staff, you gotta make sure they understand. The police only come around now every once in a while, but you can bet they're gonna be back sooner or later now. I mean, we used to hit people very hard individually on this. I hope you're gonna take this very seriously when you leave, and you gotta go back, the first thing is educate your staff. Educate every single person who comes in contact with the public. Make sure they understand all the rules, make sure they take the proper ID, and that they cannot sell to minors. If there's any doubt, don't make the sale. Everybody gets that?
Yep.
All right.
Is there a finding of a violation?
You say what?
Is there a finding of a violation?
I'll make a motion that we find that violations occurred, and that we issue a letter of warning to each of them in their file. That they seek remedial tips training right away. I don't know, what do you think?
Well, I think definitely, because if they come back before us, we have to be able to. Okay.
I don't know, whatever you want.
That
I think
sounds
it's very
good to me.
serious.
No, good to me. All in favor? Aye.
some people that are training in that. You gotta do what you have to do.
I don't have mass average noise, and that will tell you.
But now,
That's why I wanted, yeah.
Yep. Okay, then let's take a look at, failure to renew their common victual licenses. Linway Restaurant. Gonna bring all these people in? Definitely.
They got a letter.
They got a letter to be here today?
Yeah.
Anyone here from Linway Restaurant? George's Pizza, Caribbean Restaurant, LC Bagel?
Last supper, so.
I don't think they got the letter yet. They didn't come back to me.
There's a shorter one.
This one? Right here. This one. And anyone here from the lodging houses? 50 Andrew Street? 52 Friend Street?
I'm 188 Washington.
You're the last one on the list. Hi, you got, I know, you got your letter?
I got my letter.
Okay.
Basically, we put the application in early December. They finished an inspection last week. Paperwork we have to update, and that's about it. So I got to update the paperwork, look about doing another inspection.
What inspections you waiting on?
Building, fire, and health, standard inspection.
All three of them are just getting around to inspect, or?
Yeah, we, like I said, we filed in December, and do it back up. We just come up with that for the first time. So I'm just updating the paperwork, Ben and Doug was talking about the other day about it.
Okay.
Thank you.
We should be fine.
Stay on it.
Within the next month.
All right. Stay on it, please.
We will.
Okay.
We reviewed those letters for the common bits, I know they went out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the lodging houses, the
Yeah.
only one that didn't pick up their packet to renew was Apollo. But they came in today to get it.
Okay.
So they're just starting their process.
What are they, Andrew Street? No.
Union
Street.
Union Street. Yeah.
Nice that, I don't see Light Street here.
Yeah, he, by the skin of his teeth.
Alrighty,
On the common bits? Yeah. One last chance, but I mean, it's a revocation, but give them, you know, I'll shut down all these restaurants. At the same time. Yeah, that's,
okay.
On the common victims,
Yeah.
I can send ISD out regarding those.
Inspectional service,
inspectional services would go,
Oh,
food,
they would?
food
Yeah.
inspector that would go on.
while we do that,
Okay.
ISD.
yeah, need a motion.
What was the motion?
I said I need a motion. All right, I'll make a motion that we, send ISD out to the common victuals.
I'll speak with the food inspector tomorrow and tell him which ones need to come in immediately to get that taken care of.
Oh,
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, and then everyone saw the letter from Attorney Nyhouse regarding Mama Blanca's. And then the police reports. Go through them.
Okay.
is Shady Sports Bar.
Mhm.
That is involving a larceny.
Yep.
The person that was accused of stealing some money from another customer at the bar, she was arrested. There was a question of some drug possession, I believe. There was, I've spoken to the owner about this and brought it to his attention. He may be called in on it, but I don't know that the bar was negligent other than maybe exercising control over the crowd. It was an incident that happened. It didn't involve any license violations that I could see. Again, it was possession, there was some heroin discovered there, and there was a larceny inside the building.
But they did what they were supposed to do, they
They
called the
did
police.
relatively what they were supposed to do with that.
Was accepted for the files. China Bowl?
The China Bowl was that report that I wrote a supplement, given the fact
Okay.
that
All
I
right,
did what I said, so.
taking care of that. All right, players file.
Players has a couple incidents, and what we have scheduled for this evening is, first is an A and B. I believe it was dart night, and we got called for a fight. Players. And basically, somebody there was some words exchanged. An off-duty state trooper was inside, and
Yeah.
somebody threw a punch or so and was pushed outside. I do believe in this one, I don't know if you read it, see in front of it, that they called. I think that was a big concern. Did they call? I think they did on that. So that's something, again, to file, that was just another incident that happened there.
Yeah.
Anything else with that one? With Russ? Who was with Mikey? Okay, I won't go out of order. The next is Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's just the OUI.
Okay.
That was statement during the investigation that said that the person that was arrested came from Bravo.
So we filing for the file?
Yes, I would say.
Okay, players?
Players,
Okay,
Players
cross
is,
dangerous weapon.
the 20th. Okay, this is an assault and battery again. This is a fight inside the bar that happened late in the night. May have not involved some people coming in there. I don't know what words were exchanged, and there was an assault
Yeah.
and battery. And I don't see it on this list, but the same night, a couple hours later, perhaps the investigation is ongoing right now. Myself and the arson squad, the state police, a unit of the arson squad and the state police, involving an arson, attempted arson. It's kind of tied into this assault and battery. Maybe some of the players may be involved in that more serious incident. That's under investigation, and so I'll just speak to the A and B. It happened there, it was reported, and that's still ongoing as far as somebody responsible. I mean, that's one that's in front of us. I mean, if it's filed, the A and B is filed, I think that's appropriate. There's getting to be a pile of them now.
Yep.
Down there. Although I have spoken with the owner, and he's been very helpful, video and information that we need. So he's cooperating with the investigation. So I would definitely say file that, and if
Okay.
anything comes up
Yeah.
later, we can.
Okay. JD Sports?
Kevin's not gonna like this one.
I saw the picture, just the picture.
This is Deputy Desmaris, happened to be out working, and he noticed the lights on in the bar, looked in, saw two people at the bar. There was alcohol on the bar, and when he went into further investigation, he saw a partially smoked marijuana joint there on the bar, right then and there.
Picture, but
Really,
These were employees too, right?
these are two, there was a bartender
Yeah.
and one of his door people.
Yeah.
No customers,
Yeah,
but
still.
door people.
Yeah.
His people.
Yeah.
And we had a long conversation about that, so he understood this, you know, the importance of, you know, having good people work for
I
us.
guess so. Well, let's
He
see what
definitely
he's said about it.
is expected.
I guess we better bring him in.
I think we
Hearing?
should definitely.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Four Winds, it was very, very, it's a very short report.
Yeah.
There was an incident, the parties left before the officers got there. We don't see any violations
Yeah.
with them.
Randy Barrow.
Brandy Barrow, there was an incident, and it was an A and B at the Brandy Barrow. The reports there really didn't see anything that the bar management there, bartender or the management was negligent in any way. There was an assault there, and the victim became uncooperative later in the investigation. So, Eddie,
Monty's.
Well, Monty's, there was a domestic at Monty's. It took place, argument inside, then out in the parking lot, that ended up moving over to the store, Eastern Avenue Market. The bartender called. I understand the people from the bar called, and I don't think there's anything to do with the bar. It was more to do with the restaurant, it was more to do with the people that were involved. And the Little Estro, I think, I talked about both of those incidents, the arrest on Broad
Yeah.
Street by two minors and said they were drinking in there,
Mhm.
and then the discharge of the firearm. Again, it's just activity
Yeah.
that happened once.
Okay.
There was one more thing that was in the packet here, it was attached to the agenda, about a violation at the,
Lucky Lickers?
yes, that's it. Do you have that one?
Yeah, that was the new one.
That-
No, I think he's.
Which one was it?
It was attached to the,
To the new
updated
stuff I
agenda
gave you.
that I had.
What do you think
The
should be
party
done
that
with that
was,
one?
yeah, the party that was arrested, he was underage with alcohol, and he said he got it at the Lucky Lickers there. I think that I think that's clearly something they should be brought in to save as a, Steve, compliant.
Bring him in. Dip.
Huh?
Oh, here it is. Bring him
Here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
in. Wait. Okay. All right, and, yeah. New business, a vote on the, vote on our updated rules and regulations that we did.
No, we're not ready.
Okay.
Sorry.
Table that. And old business, yay, good news. Jay's been approved by the ABCC to be the manager of the town.
All right.
Okay. Okay, now, let's go back.
Thank you. I did speak with Mrs. Darren, and I make this suggestion if it was agreeable to Lisa. That we find, you guys are, so, not yet.
Oh, yeah.
If you find 3 violations.
Direction.
Yeah, just before I pulled you aside and said, just in fairness, I was remiss in not looking through this whole package. If we would have, I think, all some serious questions about the new owners and their prior record, just before we make any agreements.
Well, I'm trying to dispose of.
Okay, yeah,
I understand.
yeah, just make sure you
Yeah,
understand.
I do. I appreciate it. Now, 3 violations before that I think could be demonstrated. Lack of management and control. We acknowledged and admitted that there was violations of the cover charge, ordinance and regulation. And I take them at their word about the sales of liquor by a bottle. So I think those 3 violations.
Mhm.
And I would suggest, if the board was agreeable, that for the punishment for all three, there'd be a 10-day suspension, but that 7 be held in abeyance pending approval of a transfer, but the 3 be served immediately, and there'd be no appeal. So I discussed with Attorney Phelan, and I discussed with my client that they would serve the suspension next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because I want to get that off the books. If it goes to the ABCC, I don't want a pending,
They're not open
pending.
these days.
Well, pick a day, Monday,
Thursday,
Tuesday,
Friday,
Wednesday,
Saturday.
Thursday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, how's that sound?
They're open Monday night.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
They don't do any business, they're open.
One car.
So that 7 days be held in abeyance, pending the approval by the ABCC. 3 days be served right away, that, and there'd be no appeal. That would satisfy the Commissioner Coppinger that there'd be violations found, 3 violations, lack of management control, violation of the cover charge, what law was sale by a law. That is what I discussed with the
That sounds fine. The only point was, I think I alluded to the fact that I was good with this transfer, we could wrap this whole thing together, but I think we all had some serious questions about that prior record.
He can't answer that.
No.
No, I know that, but I just want to be
Right.
clear on that before we
Yeah.
make any deals or
Right.
agreements about it.
Well, we have to dispose of this. He's anxious
Yeah,
to
okay.
get out of the business.
We're anxious to get them out, believe me. Believe me, but no, that sounds fine. Fine.
Can I have a motion?
But there seems to be a problem with the dates.
Well, they are open on Mondays, we just, pretty much.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
I think that's fine, yeah, Saturday, Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yep. Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Well, of course, it works for me.
Yeah, okay, all right, so.
Yep.
We'll-
Yep,
we'll
10 days
get they
suspension.
suspended for
7
10
days held in
7 days held in
abeyance.
abeyance.
We close Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Can we have the exact date so there's no misunderstanding of the Saturday?
February 1st, February 2nd, February 3rd.
So it won't be a happy crowd on
I mean, it can't open on New Year's.
Yeah. All right. I make a motion, a second? A second. All in favor? Okay. Aye. Okay.
Leave it.
I'm warming up my throat.
You got one of those remote tabs? Oh, great.
Don't always have a good man around, you know what I'm saying?
We're back to the transfer. I understood from Commissioner Coppinger that he has questions that we should involve the team.
I mean, I made some statements earlier that I would completely support it, but as I read this, and it was pointed out to me, you had 2 violations for serving a minor within the last year. Can you tell us a little bit about that, about what happened, and,
Yes, the first one, Everett, we have a security company that sent out two men on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. That day they had one. We always make sure that that people get counted outside. Apparently, he wasn't disposed at the door, as he usually is. Somehow, someone came in, ordered a drink, happened to be a minor. The bartender failed to request for an ID. It was a huge mistake. We paid for it, month suspension.
what was the
It
suspension?
was a month.
A month?
Well, I guess they asked us how we felt about it. We knew that we needed to, be pay the price.
So that was the second,
That was the second.
after the one.
Because they
Right.
gave you a warrant.
Right, right. Two within 1 year, it's too much.
Yes.
We understand that.
Who gave it to you? Was it the ABCC or was it the local board?
No, the local board. We agreed.
Chelsea
We did an
Police,
appeal.
Chelsea.
Everett,
Whatever.
Everett, yes. My prior one was in 2005.
Follow their discipline.
It's a group.
We got a copy of their rules and regs.
Right now, yeah.
You were the manager at the time, right?
Correct.
Were you there on the night in question? Or when you got the 30-day suspension?
Yes.
You were there on the
I
premises
was
that
in
night?
the kitchen, yes.
You gonna use this company here in Lynn?
No. In fact, we stopped using that company a long time ago.
One question. Do you guys have any relationship at all, any type of working relationship or friendship with Miguel Sanchez? Because that truck from the, whatever truck it is, it was always down there when he was there.
Yeah, I mean, I have a working relationship with him. My hot sauce is in his establishment in Chelsea. And I met him through a mutual friend, Bob Burnick, who was the owner of El Castillo in Everett, his nightclub.
And what was, it seemed like the truck was down there a lot when he was there.
Yeah, I enjoyed the club.
Okay.
I met him through the business, and I frequented him a lot.
Okay.
And I still do.
You have no intention of involving him in this business?
Yeah. No, I see the potential for money there, and I want.
Not being in front of this board is how to keep your business viable and make money.
Question for Attorney Phelan, really, this is all, and just so you understand this, if it passed, this all has to be packaged up, has to go before the ABCC in Boston.
Right.
They will see that you've had a 30-day suspension, and they're gonna look at us and say, why would you people even consider granting them a license in your city after they've had a 30-day suspension for serving minors? So I guess my question is, what do you think would happen?
I don't know, but I do think that looking at what happened, maybe getting the information from the Everett board might be helpful for this board in determining whether it should be done or not. Not that we don't believe
No, I
what
appreciate
happened.
you being
Right.
forthcoming.
Well, it was suspension, but leaving out 30 days, I mean, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, and so, was that more than one count? Did they catch more than one person going in on that night? That's what I'm interested in.
No.
Because if they found 30 people and they were underage on that particular night, that might account for the 30 days. That's why I'm looking at,
One person.
okay, but that's why I want to look at probably the report itself and see what happened, because it seems like it's very heavy for a, you know, essentially a second offense. It seems like it's,
Everett is, it's pretty tough.
Especially since they gave a warning the first
Right.
time.
Unless there was
Did
a
you
lot
appeal
of problems with the
the
place.
suspension, or was
We
it
didn't.
just accepted it?
Yes.
I think that's a good suggestion going forward, to at least see the reports in fairness and see where we go from there. That would be, I think, our recommendation.
so take no action on it tonight, and I will go get that.
And you keep
So
it,
we
Yeah.
continue.
I was gonna say, I don't know that we could get that.
I'll go in and I'll request it on that date. You
Yeah.
gave the dates of when it occurred.
One was in August.
August, yeah, the one that the
13.
suspension is August of 2013, so it should be available.
I'm sure Jerry,
Were you represented by counsel on that day?
yes, we had attorney Patrick McDonald
Patrick McDonald?
out of Malden.
They didn't have me.
I can request that information, and we'll get that request out tomorrow.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we continue this, and pending information with Attorney Phelan's going to. Go.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patience.
Did you get all that? One of the more interesting I need a motion to adjourn.
No, adjournment's always in order.
You guys